It was a quiet evening as Marcus stepped out of a convenience store sipping a bottle of water. He was dressed casually in a hoodie and jeans, blending in like any other person walking the streets. However, there was something about the way he carried himself, the confidence in his stride, the sharpness in his eyes, that hinted at his past, a past that would soon come to light in the most unexpected way. As he walked toward his car, a police cruiser suddenly pulled up, blocking his path. The flashing red and blue lights reflected off the store windows, casting an eerie glow on the pavement. Two officers stepped out, one of them adjusting his belt while the other placed a hand on his holster. Their eyes locked onto Marcus with an expression that was all too familiar to him. Officer Reed was the first to speak, his voice carrying a tone of authority mixed with clear hostility. "Hey, where are you coming from?" Marcus stopped, turning to face them with a calm expression. "Just grabbing some water, officer. Something wrong?" Officer Daniels smirked, looking Marcus up and down as if sizing him up. "We got reports of a suspicious individual in the area and you match the description. Mind if we check you out?" Marcus took a deep breath. He had been through this before. He knew the routine, but he also knew his rights. He nodded slightly, but before he could even move, Officer Reed shoved him hard against the car. The bottle of water slipped from his hand, hitting the ground and rolling away. "What was that for?" Marcus asked, his voice steady but firm. Officer Reed sneered, pressing him harder against the car. "Just making sure you cooperate." Marcus felt the tension in his muscles, but he forced himself to stay calm. He had dealt with far worse in the Marines, and losing his temper now would only escalate the situation. Then suddenly Officer Daniels pulled out his baton, swinging it towards Marcus's ribs, intending to intimidate him. But they had no idea who they were dealing with. In a split second, Marcus moved, instinctively sidestepping the attack and grabbing Officer Daniels's wrist in a firm grip before twisting it slightly, forcing the baton to fall to the ground. Officer Daniels gasped in pain, struggling to break free, but Marcus held him steady, his grip unshakable. "You don't want to do this," Marcus said, his voice steady and calm. Officer Reed, seeing his partner restrained, went for his gun, but Marcus was faster, with precise movements honed from years of military training. He knocked the gun from Reed's hand, sending it skidding across the pavement before spinning him around and pinning him against the squad car with ease. Both officers were now completely overpowered, disarmed and restrained by the very man they had intended to bully and intimidate. Moments later, another police cruiser arrived. Its sirens wailing. Backup had been called, but by the time the new officers stepped out, they found a scene they had not expected. Marcus stood there, hands raised in surrender, while the two corrupt officers lay groaning on the ground. The dashcam from the police car had recorded everything: the aggression, the unnecessary force, the moment they tried to assault an innocent man. The truth was clear, and the new officers wasted no time in placing Officer Reed and Officer Daniels under arrest for misconduct and excessive use of force. As the officers were being taken away, one of them looked at Marcus with disbelief and anger struggling against his cuffs. "Who the hell are you?" Marcus simply dusted off his jacket, taking a deep breath before responding. "Former Marine, you should really choose your targets wisely." With that, Marcus walked away, knowing that today justice had been served.